What's happening, y'all? Nasty rainy day today. It's just brutal. It's gonna be brutally cold this week. So y'all have asked for it. This video is for everybody that wants to check out the rods. I'm gonna walk through each action, looking for a new stick. This is what this video is gonna be. So behind me, I got every setup, every action of rod from my signature lineup. 2 spinning actions, and I got 12 bait casting actions. So we'll start back here. First one, this is the Super Finesse rod. You know, this is a medium light 610 rod. So, you know, basically what I throw on this one is, I'll throw a drop shot, Ned rig, spy bait, anything like that, anything that's a little bit lighter. It's 610, and I'll say one thing about all these actions. They're made a little bit heavier, which means I wanted to make them a little bit stiffer, you know, than your average rod, just because I like that power. You know, I like when I hook up on a big fish, whether it's, you know, a 8-pounder. You know, I was throwing this rod with a Ned rig at Caney Creek, and I caught a couple, you know, giants, 8-pound class fish on this rod. So it handles big fish, and that's why I wanted all these setups you see behind me, all these actions to be able to do that in a tournament scenario. So up next we have the shaky head rod. This is the second spinning action that I made, and this is a 7-foot medium fast. This one's, you know, this one's made for when you want a spinning rod that has some, I mean, sure enough, meat to it. When you're throwing a shaky head around bigger largemouth, let's say you're out on those ledges and you want a good spinning rod that's gonna, you know, put some meat to them, this one's definitely the one I'll choose under those scenarios. Nico rig on the ledges, I'm gonna throw this one. Any situation when I feel like I need to really put some meat to them, I'm gonna throw this one. So this is a 7-foot medium fast, but I would consider this more of a medium heavy rod, the shaky head rod. Definitely on the stiffer side. Starting with the bait casting, this is the Jerkbait rod, and all these rods have the names right here. So this is, you know, this is gonna make it easy pretty much when they're on the deck. You can obviously tell which rod's which. But this is a 6'8" medium fast, perfect for a jerkbait. You know, if I'm throwing like a popper or something like that, I may pick this rod up, those short casts. And that's pretty much what I use for this one. Maybe a little small scrounger, something, you know, really finesse with a bait caster. I'm gonna use this one. And this is next is the 610. This is a dock skipping rod. And I made this really specifically. I wanted a shorter, stiffer rod. So this is a 610 heavy action. So, you know, when I want to put a jig under a dock and, you know, have some meat to it and be really accurate. So this is a heavy fast. You know, all these rods too have the wing grip on them, which I definitely like. And if I was gonna throw another bait besides you know, skipping a jig, I'm probably gonna pick up a big spinner bait, you know, like a 3/4, 1 ounce spinner bait. If I'm throwing that around shallow cover, I'm gonna pick up this rod as well and use it on this 610 heavy, where I can make those short little roll casts and be accurate with it. This is the 610, same action, same size as the dock skipping, but it's 1 power down. So this is a medium heavy fast. This is the 610 topwater spinnerbait rod. So I did topwater spinnerbait because if I want to throw like a normal size spinnerbait, you know, 1/2, 3/8, this is the rod I'm going to use. if I'm gonna go, you know, throw a spook, walking bait, you know, out in open water, buzz bait, you know, this is the rod I'm gonna choose right here. And this is the topwater spinnerbait rod. You know, perfect for all those situations. Pretty much the most universal action there is a 7-foot medium heavy rod. This is the all-purpose rod. Little finesse jigs, weighted swim bait, smaller swim bait. Pretty much that in-between rod when I just want a little bit more power. I'm gonna pick up this one, 7-foot, medium heavy, all-purpose. This is the square bill rod, medium fast. It's actually medium moderate fast, but I wanted a rod. When I like throwing a square bill, you know, I don't like one that's, I've had rods that are, you know, completely parabolic. I've had them where they're too stiff. These are all graphite rods, and I feel like this is perfect for a square bill. It gives you enough power when you hook one. If it's a big one on a crankbait, you can get him in without feeling like he's got you. So, but it's got enough tip and everything where you don't pull the hooks out of their mouth. So I love this rod for a square bill, 1.5s. You know, a little bit smaller square bills, I would say. When I get up in 2.5s, things like those bigger plugs, I'll go up to a bigger rod. But any of those medium diving crankbaits, you know, like smaller medium diving crankbaits, medium to shallow diving crankbaits, I guess I would say. This is what I'm gonna use, the square bill rod. Going up to 7.2, this is my swim jig and jig rod. I love this rod. This is a medium heavy, but I would say more on the heavier side than, you know, medium heavy. I actually got a drop shot rigged up on this when I was pitching this around stumps recently. So more of a power shot where I got a lot of backbone. But this one's a super universal rod. That 7.2 is not so much where I'm gonna feel like, man, this is wearing me out when I'm swimming, pitching a little finesse jig or, you know, 3/8 around, you know, some wood, something like that, a little Texas rig. It's perfect for this 7.2 jig rod. Going up to the frog rod, you know, this is a 7.3 heavy rod. You know, this is a great braid rod. I'm throwing 50, 65 on this rod. Also, you know, if you're a ledge guy looking for a good football jig rod, this is gonna be a good one as well. You know, that's pretty much what I use this one for, is anything where I need a lot of meat. For 7.3 heavy, definitely got some meat to it. This is the 7.4 bladed jig rod. So I really like throwing, you know, this is a medium heavy moderate. Wanted a lot of power in this rod, but some tip. 7.4 bladed jig. I'll even pick up a big square bill with this one. You know, 2.5. You know, even going up to a bigger plug than that. I really like this rod. Even some of those smaller medium diving crankbaits, I'll throw from time to time on the 7.4. Going up to 7.6, this is a crankbait rod. 7.6 medium, moderate. Again, it's got some power to it, but it's got that tip. Really similar to the bladed jig rod, just 2 more inches. So if I'm throwing a 15-foot diver like the Dredger 17.5, I've thrown weight baits on this rod. Anything where I want some distance, I really like the crankbait rod. This is the flipping rod. So this is a 7.6 heavy action rod. You can see I got a spoon on this one, but I like, you know, pitching maybe a little bit bigger weight on this. Not a heavy weight, but half, 3/4 ounce weight with this rod. I'll throw a spoon, big worm, anywhere where I need a lot of power, I'm gonna use this. I was flipping this rod at Bussy Break this year, 1/2 ounce jig, flipping it in bushes. It's a good bush rod, so you know it's got a lot of power. Just your 7.6 heavy action. Really like this 7.6 flipping rod. So I took all pretty much my favorite actions from different Abu Garcia's line. Different lineups of rods, different ones I've used over the years. Punching rod, I got it up here, it says punching. It's a heavy, moderate, fast. So it does have some parabolic bend to it. It's got the straight grip handle. So this is a good glide bait rod, but if you're looking for, you know, a straight handle rod that's really comfortable, I do recommend this one. I punch this one. I love this rod for punching, just for that parabolic bend. You know, this is, like I said, 7.9, so it's not quite, you know, your traditional flipping sticks are 7.10, 7.11. This is really more of, you know, a lot of this rod, the length's in the handle. I actually cut it down a little bit. It was longer, made it a couple inches short where it's not getting in my way when I'm flipping, but I really love this rod for punching. 1.5 ounces, 2 ounce, no problem. This one's definitely a dope rod for dropping that big weight. So the last rod in the lineup is the big crankbait rod. This is a 710 medium heavy, made for, you know, those 20, 25 foot diving plugs when I'm making those long casts and trying to get that bait humming out there. Man, that's all the rods for the lineup. Anything you want, you know, these rods retail at around $90, 90 to 100, so I'm proud of them for sure. So y'all check them out. If you got any questions, feel free to comment on anything. But yeah, I'm definitely proud of them and hope y'all love them.